Okay, jumping right into Cancerian love and money. Not sure if this is going to be one or two videos. It's all good though. Pardon the wobbly table. I'm just shuffling here. Guys, reach out for personal reading. It's only $2 a minute. You can do it over email, phone, video, IM, text, chat, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Leave a comment, like, share, follow, subscribe below. Helps the channel. We are halfway to our goal of 1,000 followers. More than halfway, actually. And then an eighth of the way for 4,000 hours viewed watch time. So at that point, we get to monetize this channel and we get to keep on spreading our positive messages throughout the world. And you're helping to do that, so thank you very much. Okay, so all these cards came out. Let's take it. Cancerian, we'll start with love. I'd like to timeless stamp all my readings, but for all intents and purposes, you could apply this to summertime season 2021. Chances are, if you're viewing this at a later date, there's something in it for you to resonate with. So feel free to take that. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light. Highest possible messages for Cancerian, sun, moon, rising, and or wherever it is on your birth chart. Feel free to apply. Take it if it resonates. Let's see, for love. Let's see. Okay, you got 10 of Cups in the reverse. This is discord, lack of harmony, lack of happiness. It could be because one member of the group or relationship or company is not kind of taking charge or understanding that they are responsible for their own happiness. This is Pisces, Neptune energy. Jupiter is leaving Pisces on the 27th, I believe, to go into Aquarius. So this is going to be more fruitful and productive in regards to humanitarian, social groups, friends, that kind of energy. There's going to be luck, growth, expansion, and abundance in that regard. As far as love, you know, we did a lot of love readings. Check out my channel that speak to the fact that Venus is in Virgo for a certain amount of time. So there's going to be a lot more kind of planned out organizational skills applied to love. Leo, the sun is in Leo still to the 22nd. The Leo sector, 5th house astrology, has to do with love, romance, love affairs, playfulness, childlike spirit. I get the sense that this is, you know, taking things too seriously. Again, we're speaking a lot about lately, you know, drama and condensing ourselves to the drama, but really only a person can condense themselves to the drama, so to speak. So when you collapse from childlike wonder and play, which is more of like a free flow wavelength state, you know, children are actively in like theta brainwave state, like they don't even perceive reality the way humans do. Humans tend to vibrate at the frequency of like alpha, beta, and then other states when you go into sleep and dream time. But for all intents and purposes, we're collapsed into a particle. But you can kind of like train yourself and condition yourself. You know, if you notice you get anxious, you know, I like to give the example of like too much coffee or, you know, sugar-free energy drinks. Those are my personal examples. You could remove yourself and understand that the anxiety or the feeling is there in and of itself, but it doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that there's cause for actual concern. Sometimes, well, that's known as confirmation bias, right? So you have the thought, you have the feeling, you have the worry, and then the mind, since it's a survival mind, is looking to confirm it externally. Really, truly, there's nothing there. You just need to merely observe the feeling that's occurring in the wave of awareness. Don't collapse yourself as someone that needs to be worried or get to the root of it, because that's you getting into the mind rabbit hole, the feedback loop. That's you essentially collapsing as the observer, and then the mind becomes a wavelength. So, but rather, you would want to kind of remain as a removed, objective observer. Let me put this on pause and go get that call, and I'll come right back. Hold on. All right, picking up where I last left off. So I should speak to the fact that 10 of Cups in the reverse is the fact that, you know, pointing to the 9 of Cups in the upright. Essentially, that's what this energy is doing. Nine of Cups in the upright is about emotional independence, strength, really that being the backbone of, what you're focused on. At the end of the day, at the deeper levels of meaningfulness, we're all in charge of our happiness. So somebody needs to take responsibility for their own happiness here. So Cancerian, that could be you, that could be, even if you are taking charge of your happiness and your emotional nature and content, then good on you. Keep doing that. That's something that you're gonna have to kind of be mindful of, in your existence. Three of Pentacles in the upright. This is collaborative efforts. Mars in Capricorn. Skill, craft work over a long period of time. Threes is about creativity. The work could get in between, the work schedule could get in this notion of a happy family. Ten of Cups in the reverse. So something to keep mindful of. Obviously, it's about priorities at the end of the day. Four of Pentacles in the upright is holding on to something. Okay, so at times it could be too tightly, and if you're holding on too tightly to something, then you're not making space for something new to come in. 3 and the 7, again, we just did a TikTok reading and we spoke to the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is Virgo energy. It makes me think of time. When we collapse into somebody, a worrying thinker self, then time is of the essence. Time is, we're often looking at the clock, and that's when we get stuck and outside of our flow state. Don't worry, time. Things will come in, in their divine timing and grace. Interesting to see Pentacles featured in your love. Pentacles is about, resources, money. They could represent years as well. If you have, a business trip around the corner or a family vacation, or you're traveling for the holidays, this energy is saying keep on being in the flow and chipping and hammering away about, what you're working on, and, know that those resources will come in miraculous ways. I'm witness to that firsthand, so it does happen. The Magician nonetheless is manifesting as above so below. Gemini Virgo energy ruled by planet Mercury, the communicator of the divine will. The 8 here is the lemniscate, so this is eternity. This is knowledge of self, knowing that you yourself are eternity. Scientifically, we have connections and roots in the Big Bang. All of our atoms, come from that. So we are literally the universe, and also spiritually speaking, it is with us now in our very kind of most subtlety of pure being. We're, beyond our observability of the senses. You are that which is beyond what's observable to the senses. And once you know that, then you start to understand quantum potential. But again, if you're stuck in this kind of fixed notion and understanding of how things are or how they're supposed to play out, then you're probably going to have a hard time manifesting. Typically, manifestation is going to have to do with, your mental directiveness and, what energy you're putting out there. But also what energy you're holding on to that no longer serve you. So hence the letting go of certain precepts and edicts that no longer serve you. A little example of manifestation: if you have a mindset of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, if you do your mantras of thank you, thank you, thank you, you're literally self-directive, operating your free will choice to tune into that blessing, gratitude, graciousness, love, higher frequencies. That's your human free will to do so. So manifestation doesn't happen in want and desire, because those are low frequencies compared to gratitude and thankfulness. Manifestation happens when you don't tap into those low frequencies. And so now you have a space, because now you're quantum wave in space, to pull in that potential more. Hence, when we don't make that space available, imagine that these are low frequencies that you're holding on to: fear, anxiety, doubt, anger. How are you ever going to have space to receive harmony, happiness, blessings? So it's literally, becoming aware, knowledge of self, that you are potential. And if you have to express something mentally, which I believe we do as people, since mental energy occurs, let it come from the heart, let it come from higher regions of self. Let it be to express gratitude, love, joy, excitement, happiness, and let it be in efforts to condition yourself. When you wake up in the morning, when like we talked about earlier, I don't know if it was in this reading, but when anxiety is going to hit you, but you're ready to deal with it. You already know what practice you want to deal with it. One way of dealing with it is sit and meditate when you're anxious, because then you get to remove yourself out of the equation and merely feel it and let it pass. You don't have to build a confirmation bias narrative, which only puts you in this feedback loop. So you could sit and meditate, or you could just observe it and still keep on doing what you're doing, but again, you're not putting fuel on that fire. Or if you need to express something mentally, let it be a mantra, okay, something of that nature, or listen to music, or go for a run, exercise. You have so many tools in your tool bag to be able to practice this. That's real manifestation, is the subtle choices that you make in your perception. Your perception is reality, okay? You essentially create what you conceive, and then know that you are not stuck and limited to your conditioning, okay? Which again starts with the brain's buying into the concept of self, So I have a phrase that I've, started to kind of tell myself, like, oh, I'm not this, you can only be this if, you're a person. Or, oh, I'm not anxious, only a person can be anxious. So a lot of the times, the first attack of the mind and the feeling self is to have a concept of self. If your concept of self is observable, then you know that you are the subtle thing that is observing it. It's like peeling back onions of a layer. If you could observe it, then you know you're not that, okay? The mind is going to tempt you. It's going to seduce you, like the snake in the Garden of Eden, to come out from the kingdom of self. Meaning, when you meditate, everything is blank and empty. The mind is going to be like, okay, what's next? And then it's going to have you kind of try to work out and formulate these equations. You could literally choose to go into that with your attention, or stay back as presence and awareness. It's going to seem like a tussle, like a tug in a war at first, but again, that's why it's a practice. And you don't necessarily have to be sitting down, closed eye, meditating to do that. It's a higher form of consciousness. It's a higher form of awareness. This too will help you in love, Cancerian. Let me end this here and jump into a money reading and see what cards want to come out here. So tune in for the next reading, which I'm going to be doing right now. I'll let your boy for more. Peace.